you to give me a hand right here. And what I want Brody to do, Brody knows what he's doing already, right? Brody knows that he's going to jump. Nice. So we grab people, get them up here, and slide them through, right? So manually bring them through. Knees nice and bent. Cool. Nice. Look at a box. Where are we looking from the moment we're getting on to the moment that we're getting off? Actually jumping on it. If I'm looking right here, guess what? Not a good place to be, right? But if I'm looking at the end of that rail, now my eyes are locked into where I want to go. Where your eyes go. Forward. And right here. And all you're going to do is once you get on this, you're going to look at the end of that box. Knees nice and bent. There we go, and we're jumping off. Woo! Beautiful. How do we approach the park safely, especially on our first run, right? First run of the day. So the most important thing for me to stress with you guys is this. Look before you leap. Does that make any sense to you guys? Do you guys know what look before you leap means? There's nobody in front of you? Okay. Anybody else have any other ideas on look before you leap? Make sure it's safe. Perfect. So that's the idea. All you guys, what I want you guys to keep in mind is this. The park changes even throughout the day, right? Temperature goes up and down. Right now it's pretty chilly, but it might get a little warmer. Once it gets a little warmer, snow conditions change. One of the important things here is to look before you leap. You look at these features, you want to make sure that they're set up in a way that matches your ability. That goes for coaches as well. For the coaches, we want to make sure that our students are ready for what they're going to do here. So a lot of the work that we're doing it outside of the park. We're having them make sure they understand how to line up a feature, like basically stand up, skis nice and flat, going into a feature as you're going on it, right? Has any of you guys done a box before? This guy right here. Anybody else? No? Okay. Do you mind being a volunteer for me and helping me out? All right, I'm going to pull you onto the feature. So slow it down. There you go. And then hand right here. And so, as you can see right here, Cooper's jumping onto the feature, and he's already on it. The tip of the skis are not going to actually hit this right here. I'm sorry, man. Just give me 1 second. Thanks, buddy. So now we're looking at the end of the rail, Cooper, or at the end of the box in this case, right? End of the box, and a jump. Nice. The rest of the group, they never experienced it before. So why not take that out of the equation and say, I'm going to help you get through it the first time, or the first couple of times, and then have you choose to do it yourself. Does anybody else want to try it with a coach? Slow. There we go. Awesome. Here you go. You're bringing your skis up onto the feature. Right there. Knees nice and bent, and you're looking at the end. Looking at the end, and a big jump. Yeah! Important thing, look at the end of the feature. Looking at the end of the feature. Go ahead. Nice and clean. You want to be right here. I'm going to stand a little bit further out just to make sure. Now, Emily, you're looking at the end of this feature. So you're going to look right here. You're going to lock that feature the whole time. Is that cool? Yeah! Woo! That was awesome. All right.
Go ahead, Tom.
Somebody could be like, not know how to do something and could like hit you by accident. They could like,
Sorry, I couldn't hear
they
you.
would like go off like the jump say and they could like turn too much and then come off like a weird angle.
Right, you want to make sure you're out of the way. Safety first, but also, didn't you want to check out the action?
Yeah.
And see who's doing something really cool?
Absolutely.
If you're watching with somebody who's really proficient, it might show you something that you can use.
We want to make sure we allow everybody to enjoy the park at the same time, right? So it's really important for us to, when we come into the park, again, we spoke about respect gets respect, right? We want to respect the people that are in the park playing while we're learning over here. Our approach, when we approach any of these features. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think, Coach is not allowed to respond to this, do you guys think that you can approach a rail or a box on an edge?
No.
Do you guys think you can land on a box or a rail on an edge?
No.
So does it go against everything that you've learned till now when it comes to skiing, where you're skiing on one edge and skiing on another edge? Is it a little bit difficult sometimes to keep those skis nice and flat when you're learning and you're doing a lot with turning?
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of the idea. The idea now is to make sure we're disciplined in a couple of things. One of them is our approach has to be flat-based, flat skis. Okay? So once we're looking at it and once we're pointing those skis down, we're going. Okay? There's a commitment level there that we want to make sure we have. Okay? But I don't want you guys to throw yourselves at stuff without knowing. So the first thing that I would do as a coach, and for you guys as well when you come to the park without a coach, is I would say, okay, I'm looking at that feature and I'm really interested in seeing what that feature is going to feel like, right? But I'm not going to do it. I just want to feel what the speed is like. So looking at that rail, and he's going to think he's going for that rail, but he really isn't. All he's going to do is what we call ghosting in the park, right? And ghosting can be either somebody's going on a feature and you're following them to kind of feel what that speed feels like, or just on your own, look at where you are right now, right? You're kind of like maybe aligned with that last tree right there. And what I want you to do is do a quick dip, and you're gonna go flat face from that moment on to where I fail. Does that make sense, Nicholas? Awesome. So, you're going now. Flat face, flat face, flat face. Nice. All right. That was way too close to number, but that's totally fine.
Back up. Back up. Go backwards then.
Flat skis, flat skis, flat skis. There you go. That is what we do to get close to a feature. So, for some of you guys, does that feel like that was a lot of speed to carry as you were getting close to me? No? Does that feel like a lot of speed, Patrick? Okay. So what happens if it's a lot of speed? What do we do to control that speed?
Start lower down. Whoop.
He says turn.
Wedge.
John says start lower down. Which one would you think is the option that you would take? Start lower down? Okay. So this is the thing. We can use both tools. Once we're getting close to that edge, once we're getting close in our approach, we want to make sure we're fully committed. So we either go or we bail, right? Not like that. But we either go or we bail, right? And we bail by stopping and coming off, right? Because I'm not saying it's a do or die kind of situation. I want you guys to make sure you understand that. Sometimes you feel like you're ready when you take off, and then you're not. Then something changes, and that's absolutely fine. Just make sure that you don't jump off the side of it, because that could have some consequences that you guys can't foresee right now. But if you clip one of the tails of your skis on that, it's a much bigger fall than you wanted to have. Okay, it's actually easier to fall off the box than actually to clip your skis and fall off that.
Yeah.
So as a coach, I can even stand right here and just make sure that the situation stays in my Nice. Not good. As soon as you land, do like a little so keep the ski tips out of the way. Beautiful. All right. Nice, dude. Looking at the end, your approach has to be nice and clean, right? Most important thing. So approaching, whenever you guys see something like that, whenever you have somebody coming down, just make sure you give them the cues, right? At all times, always give them the cues. Like, tip straight, look at the end of the rail, nice and flat. You know, like all those things are going to help them help cement that in their head. Every single time they go, now they're going to remember, this is what I need to do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. So, who else wants to go? All right. Beautiful. Nice. All right. All right. Here you go. And jump. Ah. There we go. It doesn't matter.
So what you think about flat, okay? You just feel like you're going to spin around a little bit. You never want to go on in.
Yeah, no, jump in the car.
Okay. So keep your eyes looking straight ahead and nice and flat. Good. Are you ready so you can jump off yourself?
As soon as you see that.
No? Okay. Ready? We'll get to the end. Ready, one more time. I'll grab you and take you off there. You think you do. So, there you go.
Awesome! Woo!
Okay, good. And try to keep it nice and flat, right?
Looking at the end of the box.
See how we can kind of spin around a little bit here? Right? Nice and flat. Coming down.
Looking at the end, looking at the end.
Good. Now you can be looking out at the snow there where you're going to land. Great, nice little hop.
So it's really important to make sure, again, we were talking about that approach, we were talking about how we arrive at these elements, and we want to make sure that we have the right amount of speed. Does that make sense? So when we don't have a lot of speed, we could actually bail so that we don't have to fall. We do just do it again. Does that make sense? Yeah. Awesome. Let's do it again then.
Again, keep in mind these. Flatten your skis, there's no snowplow on that, okay?
Yeah.
Snowplow putting in edge, you're going to lose it right away. If you're feeling like the ski's going in the wrong place, try to flatten it out and ride to the end, or get you a place where you can jump off of both feet away from the rail. You want to have them for life. That's it. Nice.
Look at the end and ski on the downhill foot.
There you go. Once you get on here, just pin it. Yep. There you go. All right, beautiful.